Let's see, recording preferences. Where are you?
What are you doing, Tom?
It's nothing to worry about. I just want to double check and fine tune the video recording preferences before I get started here. It's okay. Could you please open the recording preferences dialog, please?
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Uh-oh. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. I would really, really appreciate that. So, today's video is just going to be a fun little silly thing that I have had in mind to do for quite a while. I just never got off my buns and did it until now. Yes, I'm trying to throw myself a little bit more into YouTube. As you've noticed in the last couple of months, I've done a video almost every week. And the reason for that is, well, just take a look at the news headlines. You'll figure it out. Anyway, and yes, as I said, I've had this concept for a video in mind for a year, maybe not quite that long. But anyway, fairly simple idea. This is movies for which I have more than one soundtrack album. So yeah, and I actually, in going through my soundtracks, I realized I have more than I thought I did. And so, yes, generally speaking, for most of these examples, the two albums will be the song compilation soundtrack as well as the original score for the movie. In most cases, the song compilations were the far more popular releases, and these scores were mostly put out on specialty labels and that kind of thing. But I thought it'd be kind of fun. There are a couple of examples that do not follow that particular scheme, if you will. But let's go ahead and get started. And I arranged these pretty much in alphabetical order. Let's start off with Back to the Future. Yes, I have the original song soundtrack, which came out in 1985 along with the movie. And it's got a couple of clips from the actual score by Alan Silvestri. But of course, it's got the Huey Lewis songs, The Power of Love and Back in Time. And it's got Eric Clapton and a couple of other people. Oh, it's got the 50s songs that Marvin Berry and the Starlighters did. So yes, a very, very fun soundtrack, of course. But the score was what I had been after ever since the movie came out. And this is something that's happened quite a bit. Is I like the song soundtrack well enough. I'm just a fan of film scores, so I was waiting for the score to come out. And finally, in was it 2008, I was finally rewarded with the Back to the Future score album by Alan Silvestri. It was put out on Entrada Records. There was a bootleg that was out for several years before that, and I got my hands on it, but the recording quality was not very good. But I held on to it until they put out an actual remastered or properly mastered release. And the interesting thing about this one is it has on disc 2, it has a version of the score that was being written and recorded back when, what's his name? I can't remember what his name was. But yeah, the actor that almost got the role, or actually had the role of Marty McFly before Michael J. Fox came in. And it was, as you can tell, if you listen to these alternate recordings, it was going to be a movie with a significantly different mood. But yes, I was waiting and waiting for this score for a long time, and I finally got it. My waiting was rewarded. Next, we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And yes, this is, of course, the song soundtrack that everybody remembers. Some great, great stuff on here. I love the song that plays over the opening credits. I Can't Break Away by Big Pig. I think I've got a 12-inch single of that in my LPs back here. So yes, and of course lots of other hard rock and hair metal hit songs. Well, hits. As far as the movie is concerned, they were hits. But yes, a very good soundtrack album, even though that was not my favorite kind of music. It's still fun to have as part of the movie. And then we have the score, written and composed by David Newman. This was put out by Entrada also, and this was put out back in 2014. And yes, course, we all remember the songs more than we remember the score, but still, this is a very, very fun, and I really appreciate having this in my collection. Fantastic score. And then moving on, we jump from the B's into the F's. We have Forrest Gump. Of course, this is the 2 CD song compilation soundtrack that was, and I think it topped the charts for quite a while, if I remember correctly, or very nearly topped the charts. Yes, so many songs from the era of the movie. Actually, I guess the movie went through a couple of different eras, didn't it? But yeah, it's a great compilation to listen to. And I actually found, I think this was at one of the St. Vinny's stores, the score by Alan Silvestri, again, the same guy who did Back to the Future. And yes, I didn't realize this existed until I think by the time I saw it in St. Vinny's, I had found out that it actually did exist. But yeah, for a long time, I just assumed that the song soundtrack was it. But yeah, very nice to have two different sides of Alan Silvestri. Got Back to the Future, which is much more action and sci-fi, and then we got Forrest Gump, which is much more drama and comedy. So it's very good to have differing scores by the same composer. And then we have Ghostbusters, one of my favorite films from the 1980s. And this is actually a remastered version of the original song soundtrack with a couple of bonus tracks in here. You can see. And of course, the title track by Ray Parker Jr. It basically saturated the radio for a while in the middle of 1984. So yes, and the Bus Boys, the Thompson Twins, Air Supply, Laura Branigan, and a couple of tracks from the Elmer Bernstein score. And this one has 2 bonus tracks, Disco Inferno by the Tramps, and a 12-inch mix of Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. And then back in 2019 actually, they finally put out, Sony finally put out the Elmer Bernstein score album from Ghostbusters. I was very, very happy to have this. It was put out before by Varese Sarabande in a limited edition, and it had sold out and was going for very high prices. And then finally, Sony decided to re-release the original, the score album, which I am very, very happy to have in my collection. Then we're moving on to a movie that some of you might remember, some of you might not. It was called Hollywoodland, and it basically tells a fictionalized story of the death of George Reeves, who played Superman in the original 1950s TV series. The official ruling was suicide, but a lot of people were not sure about that. They speculated that he was killed, that he was murdered, and this is kind of a fictionalized telling. Adrian Brody plays a detective, a private investigator that goes looking down various avenues of possible motives for his death. It's an interesting movie. And this is the song soundtrack from Decca Records. Lots of songs from the period. Little Richard, John Coltrane, The Platters, Frankie Lane, Bo Diddley. So good stuff. And then Varese Sarabande put out the score by Marcelo Zarvos. It's a decent score. It's kind of it's a very subtle score, kind of blends into the background, but that's kind of what the movie called for, basically. So yeah, good score from Hollywoodland. And Ben Affleck, I have to say, did a good job as George Reeves. It was an interesting movie. Then we have another smash hit from the 1980s, The Karate Kid. This is the song soundtrack, of course. I hate the cover of this, though. I mean, this banner or whatever you call it on the top and right edges is way, way too big. They should have just blown this up and used that as the cover. That's one reason I'm not crazy about the graphic design of this CD case. And then you got the songs here, and again, for as much room as they had, they basically had the whole back of the insert to put the song titles and nothing else. And look at the size of the font that they put them in. I know I have half a mind to redesign them myself and make my own inserts for it. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, yes, lots of great songs on here. If you are as fond of the movie as I am, uh, you'll remember every one of the songs. The Moment of Truth, You're the Best. That was the action montage, inspirational montage song that all of these movies back in the 80s had. Let's face it. So yes, a very good soundtrack. And then just a couple of years ago, La La Land saw fit to release a 35th anniversary release of Bill Conti's score from The Karate Kid. And this is another one that Varese Sarabon years before had put out the score album, and it went out of print and lapsed into being up for grabs for another label to get the license for and redo. And La La Land jumped on it, and I am very happy that they did. So yes, lots of great music, and I just love the scores from the Karate Kid films. And this was another one, kind of like Back to the Future, where everybody loved the songs. I was waiting for the score album. So there you go. Let me take a drink real quick here. Now this next one is a little unusual but only in the sense that it's in one jewel case. I don't have a separate jewel case for the other the album's counterpart, just because it never came in an actual jewel case. It was just a promo in a cardboard sleeve. But we have Love, Simon. This is the song soundtrack from Love, Simon, produced by Jack Antonoff, featuring a couple Bleachers songs and several other hits from songs from popular artists from 2018. And I was able to find on eBay about a year or two ago the score by Rob Simonson, and it was available in as I said, in a cardboard sleeve. It was, I guess, up for not Grammy, but Oscar consideration for Best Original Score. And so, yes, the Rob Simonson score I have on the second disc that is piggybacking this one. So there you go. Was very, very, very happy to find that. Yes, it was a lot of a pair of CDs, the score, as well as a promo CD of Alfie's song by Bleachers. So cost me $50, but for the score CD, to me, it was worth it. What can I say? Anyway, and then here we have another movie that is not super popular. It's kind of like, we know it exists out there, but it's not really not a memorable hit movie. Mr. Holland's Opus. This is the song soundtrack, and this was actually in my sister's CD collection. I inherited this one from her, and it's a great selection of songs from the era, and it's got basically the title track. It's a composition by, I believe, the composer of the film, Michael Kamen. It is called An American Symphony. Mr. Holland's Opus it closes out the album, but for the rest of the album, we've got Spencer Davis Group, Stevie Wonder, John Lennon, Jackson Browne, Ray Charles, another song by John Lennon. So yeah, it's a great, great album. I'm pretty sure, I think I saw the movie. Maybe I didn't. No, I think I'm confusing this movie with a different one. I don't think I've seen this one yet. I need to see it. So yes, but anyway, this is the the song score, and I found, and I believe this was also at a St. Vinny's thrift store, the score album by Michael Kamen, Mr. Holland's Opus. So yeah, a good score, gotta say. And this probably also has the. Oh no, yes, it does have An American Symphony, Mr. Holland's Opus, which is also on the song soundtrack. So, cool stuff. Now this next one is also one of the other slightly unusual ones. It is two releases of music from the same movie, but I guess I'll explain as I go. This is one of John Williams' earlier movies. Something, a little line of something. Hang on, I'm too curious. Is it a stray cat hair? Which it probably is. Yes, it is a stray cat hair. So, gee, cat hair in this house? Go figure. Anyway, Not With My Wife You Don't. This is an early 1960s comedy that was scored by John Williams, back when he was called Johnny Williams. And this is the original album release of Not With My Wife You Don't. It was also paired with another soundtrack from another movie. which is by George Dunning, called Any Wednesday. So yes, this was the original, the soundtrack album recordings, which were different from the actual recordings that were used in the film score. And this was Film Score Monthly did this release back when, presumably before they got the license to the actual score recordings, which they put out on Not With My Wife You Don't Volume 2. So that is the story of these two volumes. So yes, this is an album with the complete film score from Not With My Wife You Don't. So there you go. That's about all the story there is with that one. Still kind of an interesting story. And then we have one of my favorite movies from, this was 1998, I believe, Pleasantville. If you have not seen this movie, you've got to. It is fantastic. And it is scarily relevant now, as much now as it was back in 1998. But yes, an excellent movie with lots of songs from the 1950s when the movie takes place. Some great stuff on this album. And a couple of, well, actually, Fiona Apple does a rendition of Across the Universe, which is actually a song from the 60s. So I'm kind of, that's a little odd that a 60s song was covered in here. But anyway. But we got plenty of 50 songs. Bebop-A-Lula by Gene Vincent, Lottie Miss Claudie by Larry Williams, Take 5 by the Dave Brubeck Quartet, At Last by Etta James. Great album there. And this is actually the second version of this CD that I have. It is the score by Randy Newman from Pleasantville. And yes, Varese Sarabande put out, back when the movie came out, they put out a version of the score. But it was replaced, superseded, whatever you want to say, in 2023 by an expanded version, which I was very happy to see, and I jumped on pre-ordering it as soon as I could. So yes, a very, very good score. As you can imagine, lots of Americana, suburbia Americana kind of music. Very, very, very pleasant to listen to. So, and yes, as I said, you've got to see the movie if you haven't yet. It's a fantastic movie. And here we have, this is another one of the oddballs in this set. Both of the albums here are the score, just in different formats. I've got a few of those here. Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is, I don't have the original version on CD. This is the one that Concord Records put out. It's a reissue, expanded from the original album back in 2007, 2008, I believe. Yeah, in conjunction with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when that came out. And yes, it's obviously one of John Williams' biggest and best scores. And I have this one. When I got this one, I replaced, or I got rid of, this version of it. This is actually from 1995 from DCC Compact Classics. And this was the first time that Raiders of the Lost Ark was expanded for CD release. And the reason I got rid of this was because I didn't realize that this album contains the original album edits of the tracks that were on the original album, whereas this one, which was released earlier, mind you, in 1995, this one has the unedited longer versions of some of these cues, the one like they were heard in the movie. I don't know why Concord didn't have the album edits or the original edits, and DCC did, and why they couldn't put them on this one from this one. It was probably having to do with licensing issues and stuff. But yes, as soon as I realized what I was missing, I scrambled and got another copy of this. So yes, I was happy to have. That's why I have both of them. Specifically, the Desert Chase was in an edited and, in my opinion, kind of sloppily edited version on the original album release, which is replicated on the Concord 2008 release. I don't know why they didn't just go to the extra effort of getting the unedited versions. But anyway, I could go on about that for hours. Take a drink again, please. Next up, we have Spider-Man, the 2002 Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man. And this is it's a lenticular 3D cover, which is very cool. This is the song soundtrack with Sum 41, Chad Kroger, the song "Hero" that played over the end credits, and lots of other popular artists from the era. We've got Macy Gray, Theory of a Dead Man, The Strokes, Default, Alien Ant Farm. So, and yes, good stuff. But I have always been partial to the score. Of course, this is another album, another movie where I was waiting for the score, not the album, not the songs. And yes, I got the score, and I back when the movie came out, and then I replaced it last year, 2022. So it's been 3 years ago when La La Land got the license to put out the 3 CD expanded version. Yes, 2 discs of the original score, the unedited film score, and the other disc is a remastered version of the original album. So yeah, great stuff. One of Danny Elfman's best scores, in my opinion, and one of the last old school superhero movie scores. Loved it. And same thing goes true with Spider-Man 2. There is the song soundtrack from Spider-Man 2. Yeah. At some point, I just decided I'm going to be a Spider-Man soundtrack CD collector. So, although not a true collector because I no longer have the 1-disc versions of the original scores by Danny Elfman. But I do have, last year I believe it was, they followed up the original Spider-Man movie with Spider-Man 2 by Danny Elfman, and the same scheme again, 2 CDs of the film score presentation and 1 CD replicating the original score album release. So, gotta love Danny Elfman's scores for the Spider-Man movies. Then we have Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I've got this is a 20th anniversary remastered and expanded release, and the reason I'm holding on to this one, you'll see its successor in just a minute here. The reason I'm holding on to this one still is because of the second disc, which is an expanded version of a spoken word album called Inside Star Trek. It's got interviews with the creator Gene Roddenberry and several stars from the original series. The original album was put out in 1972 or something like that. 1976. So yes, very, very cool to have that. Some of it's a little bit cheesy. They try to do some songs with it that well, let's just say that it's an artifact of its time. It's a little bit cheesy in places, but it's also lots of fun and very interesting to hear the creators and actors commenting on the show. So, and then I bought last year, I think it was, I bought the 2-disc La La Land release, further expanded, of the Star Trek: The Motion Picture score, and just same thing, just more music, and it's actually the original score flows onto disc 2, and then there's the again a remastered version of the original soundtrack album format. And then there's one film trilogy. Gee, that narrows it down. And we're in the S's, so yeah, you know what it is. That I have not 2 but 3 versions of the scores. I'm going to show them to you kind of in chronological order of how they came out. We've got Star Wars, the original. Oh, there's a crack in that CD case. I didn't realize it. The original album presentations of the original trilogy. Although these, I printed out the original covers and inserted them into the jewel cases just because I love the original covers and because these are the original album releases of these scores of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or back when I was growing up, it was just Star Wars, and then The Empire Strikes Back. That one as well. And Return of the Jedi, which got the short shrift in terms of album length. Yes, the first 2 were double albums, and the Return of the Jedi was just shortened to 1 album. And they just got the short end of the stick, didn't they? And then in 1993, out came a box set of the remastered for the first time, expanded versions of the original Star Wars trilogy soundtracks. So this is on a 4-disc set. So yes, one disc devoted to each of the 3 movies, and the 4th disc is outtakes and more unreleased music from each of the 3 films. It's a fantastic set. It is arguably not of great sound quality. I have never really been able to tell the difference. Then again, I have not listened to them, one after the other in a long time. But anyway, after that, I got actually just very recently. I used to have these a long time ago, but when I read that this one was supposedly of lesser sound quality, I decided to go ahead and find, and I found very quickly, immediately, basically, the 1997 special edition releases of Star Wars trilogy. Not only that, but in this amazing box set, which I think the slipcase, I believe, was a promo only thing, and I got this still sealed on eBay for like $25, postage paid. So, but yes, this has the original. These are the bookbound 2-disc versions. So we got Star Wars: A New Hope, and the 2-disc presentation of that. And we've got The Empire Strikes Back with its expanded presentation there. Very, very, very cool. And then the first ever 2-disc release of Return of the Jedi, unless you count the overflow on the box set onto, a partial disc too of overflow on that. Of course, the drawback is this one has the newer songs that were recorded for the remastered edition of Return of the Jedi. So yes, an excellent set. I was so happy to get these, and to further add to my John Williams collection as well. So yes, excellent stuff. And while we are on the subject of John Williams, this is another slightly odd selection here, because one of these is a re-recording, and it wasn't the actual soundtrack, but it's the same material, so I decided to go ahead and throw it in. We're talking Superman the movie. This is the La La Land re-release from 2019, and this is again a 3-disc presentation, same as with the other ones I've shown you, the Spider-Man and so forth. 2 discs of the expanded and remastered film score, and disc 3 is a reassembly and remastering of the original soundtrack album. So, one of my absolute favorite John Williams scores of all time, and that is exactly why I decided to pick this up as well. This is a re-recording by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, conducted by John Debney, and this was put out in 1998. And this actually predates the first expanded 2 CD release of the actual original film score. So for a while, this was the only way you could get some of the cues that are on this album. So that, in a way, it kind of served as the soundtrack for a couple of years. It's in that it was the only way you could get, like, the helicopter rescue sequence. For some reason, that was not on the original soundtrack. So yes, but it's a very, very well done, well orchestrated, and well recorded presentation of the Superman score. Even though it's not the original soundtrack, I felt it is that good that, in my opinion, it deserves to be shown in this, amongst these this stuff. Anyway, now this next one, another slightly odd situation here. I'm counting this one, despite the fact that it's in one jewel case here, because I did, back when they first came out, I did buy the 2 volumes separately as they were originally put out. So I did have those. I got this anniversary set, so I didn't have any need for the original releases anymore. We're talking Titanic, the James Horner score. I did originally buy, as I mentioned, the first album, Titanic, as well as the sequel album that was put out later that year, Back to Titanic, which is disc 2 here. So yes, I did buy, as I said, the two individual releases, and so for forever I've had more than one Titanic CD. And this package actually includes two additional discs. Gentlemen, it has been a privilege playing with you tonight. The music of, is it I Salonisti or E Salonisti? I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry. That is the music that you saw the string quartet on Titanic play. I Salonisti actually performed that music. And then disc 4 is popular music from the Titanic era. Uh, these two discs, and I can't remember which disc it's on, the music from the Irish folk band down in the lower decks from the Irish party, those guys. That music is included in this set as well. So yeah, I had to have this set. It's just an excellent set. Love the movie Titanic. It's one of my favorite movies, and so I had to have the deluxe treatment when it comes to the music from the movie. And now closing out this presentation here is music from The Wedding Singer. Yes, there was the original soundtrack here, which was such a big hit that they saw fit to put out more music from The Wedding Singer, Volume 2. And truth be told, I have seen the movie. Wasn't one of my favorites. Adam Sandler is a bit of an acquired taste for me. I'm not sure why. But truth be told, the only reason I've got these two is because, excuse me, they were both in the budget section at Epic Seconds. And well, I mean, plus there's a good selection of songs on here too. I mean, 80s songs. I'm an 80s kid, so I say, I see. I was going to say the Presidents of the United States of America is on here. And it's like, they weren't an 80s band, but they covered Video Killed the Radio Star, so that's why they're on here. Culture Club, The Police, Psychedelic Furs, The Thompson Twins, Elvis Costello, Billy Idol, David Bowie. I mean, come on. It's just, anybody who likes music would want to have these albums, even if they haven't seen the movie. But anyway, so what do you think? That's my quite a collection there of movies from which I have more than one soundtrack album. As I said, quite a few more than I thought I did. And no wonder my soundtrack collection's so big. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you like it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I'd love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And remember, life's too short to be a music snob.